bonjour!
Mr. During your committee testimony, you were asked about GIS and the clawbacks that some seniors are facing. You said that the government's working on a solution. Can you elaborate on that when we might see this solution?
I meant what I said, and I don't have a lot to say beyond that. We do appreciate that this is a challenging situation. Seniors who receive GIS are among the most vulnerable Canadians. And they accepted the CERB at a time when the whole country was in crisis and they really needed it. And we really do appreciate that they're facing some big challenges now. It is, there are some technical challenges in resolving the situation. But as I said at committee, we really do appreciate that these vulnerable Canadian seniors deserve our support. And that's why our government has acted on so many different occasions to support the most vulnerable seniors in the country. Je ne suis pas prête aujourd'hui à annoncer une date.
Will there be something in the fiscal update around that?
Je ne suis pas prête aujourd'hui à annoncer une date ni à détailler ce qu'on va préciser dans l'énoncé fiscal et budgétaire mardi.
Minister, in English, though, should we draw the conclusion from your comments that the fix on GIS is tied to the fiscal update, or is it a separate track?
I wasn't making any comments beyond what I said at committee, which is we agree. We get it. We accept that there is a problem here to be solved. I don't have any announcement to make today on the date or the specifics of the solution, but I do really want to assure Canadians that we're working on it.
Across the river in Chelsea, Quebec, a teacher was removed from her classroom for wearing her hijab. What do you think of a professional woman being removed from her job because she's wearing a symbol of her faith?
The Prime Minister was very clear during the election campaign, asked about C-21 on many occasions. He was very clear about our government's position, and of course, that remains our government's position.
Sur les artistes, Mme Freeland, vous n'avez pas non plus donné de date au Bloc québécois. Est-ce qu'on va avoir un moment où on va savoir quand il y aura l'aide temporaire et quel est votre niveau de collaboration avec
Non, merci pour la question, parce que vraiment pour notre gouvernement, pour tout le Canada, mais surtout pour le Québec, la question d'appui pour le secteur culturel et pour les travailleurs autonomes du secteur culturel est vraiment importante. On a pris un engagement clair pendant la campagne électorale d'appuyer le secteur culturel et les travailleurs autonomes dans le secteur culturel. La loi C2 sera importante pour beaucoup d'entreprises culturelles. Et c'est une des raisons que j'espère qu'on pourra voter pour cette législation. Mais il reste la question des travailleurs autonomes du secteur culturel. Comme j'ai dit, on est clair. On va appuyer ces travailleurs. On est en train maintenant de préciser les détails, comment on va faire. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. No, sorry, we had one more.
Bonjour. Ben, j'ai avec moi une dame m'accompagne, Madame Jessica Mimo, que j'ai le plaisir de vous présenter, mais qui vit un autre drame, comme plusieurs personnes malades puissent le vivre, c'est-à-dire être mis devant le fait de devoir mettre fin. Les prestations d'assurance-emploi ont été mises fin abruptement alors que sa maladie continue. C'est tout notre combat pour les maladies graves de prestations d'assurance-emploi. Je vous présente Mme Mimo qui va vous parler de son vécu.
Alors, bonjour tout le monde. Il me fait plaisir d'être ici aujourd'hui pour vous parler de ma cause, mais non seulement la mienne, mais celle de plusieurs personnes qui pourraient être dans la même situation que moi. Donc, un petit parcours rapidement. À partir du 7 août, on a découvert une masse thoracique et à partir de ce moment-là, j'ai eu droit à 6 semaines de préparation, à savoir le plan de match, à savoir comment il allait me traiter. Donc, 6 semaines, j'ai dû avoir 3 opérations, 3 biopsies, désolé, une opération. À partir de là, je n'avais même pas débuté la chimiothérapie. Donc, 15 semaines, ça va vite. À partir de là, il me reste seulement 7 semaines et j'ai dû débuter mes traitements. Donc, à partir de la semaine prochaine, je me retrouve sans prestation, donc vraiment beaucoup de difficultés, de stress financier à venir. Donc, je trouve pas ça normal que ça soit quelque chose qu'on devrait vivre lorsqu'on fait face à une maladie grave comme ça. Donc, j'espère qu'aujourd'hui, on va pouvoir changer la donnée, non seulement pour moi demain matin, ce qui serait impossible, mais je le fais au nom des gens futurs. Je pense surtout aux mères monoparentales ou peu importe, les gens qui pourraient pas avoir un entourage comme j'ai aujourd'hui. Donc, je suis bien contente d'être ici pour parler de mon cas puis de représenter tous ces gens-là. Merci.
Bien, vous connaissez le combat du Bloc québécois, le combat de Mme Dubé, le combat d'Émilie Sans Façon. Il y a 2 ans, presque juste pour jour demain, on était ici présents avec Mme Émilie Sans Façon, malheureusement décédée au cours de son combat. Et nous avons rencontré le premier ministre pour dénoncer la situation que 15 semaines d'assurance maladie, d'assurance emploi maladie, c'était insuffisant. Le premier ministre s'était alors engagé d'augmenter les prestations. Fait qu'encore aujourd'hui, on est devant 15 semaines, on est devant la même situation et c'est inacceptable. Il a été maintes fois démontré que les personnes malades, ce qu'ils doivent combattre, c'est la maladie et non pas leur situation financière. Et tous les témoignages le démontrent, les études scientifiques, dans le cas de maladies graves, 40 semaines, c'est un minimum, donc d'où la revendication de 50 semaines. Et c'est un combat qu'on doit absolument continuer, mais le gouvernement doit certainement s'y engager dès maintenant.
Avez-vous des questions? Non. Merci.
Minister, is it time for the government to take a stronger stand against Bill 21 in Quebec? You have a school teacher who was removed from a classroom.
What I think is that women should have the right to wear whatever they want to wear.
And so why not speak up against Bill 21 and that women in a classroom should have the right to wear whatever they want to wear? You have a grade 3 teacher who's removed from the classroom because she's wearing a hijab. What message should that send to kids today?
Well, I think it's cowardly. I think we've been quite clear that this type of discrimination isn't reflective of the Quebec society I want to live in. 50 years ago, what people were wearing on their heads were from the Catholic Church, done by nuns, as everyone knows, or priests. So I think there's some reflection on that as to what the signal is. I'm against it. I've been against it from the beginning. I just think there's better ways to do things. And teachers, whatever position you have on whether people should wear things on their heads or not, or what religious symbols you wear, and what position of authority, in my mind, in the teaching context, for sure, it should be excluded. I've said time and time again, a guy like Harjit Sajjan, who is a hero, he couldn't teach music class in Quebec because of the turban that he wears on his head. And he shouldn't because he's a lousy musician, but that's the only reason he should be excluded from teaching, frankly. And that, it's disheartening, and it's picking on someone vulnerable.
I'm sorry to have to stop you on this, but I'm wondering if it's time for your government to take a stronger stand against Bill 21 in Quebec.
I have always said very clearly on that it should be women's choice what to wear and what not to wear. I wear hijab, and our government has always said that there is definitely having a very close eye on it. And
is it time for you to push the Prime Minister and others in your caucus to do more than just keep a close eye and defer to provincial jurisdiction?
I will always be there to stand up for those women who want to wear a hijab. And in this incident which has happened with the teacher in Quebec, I think it's not right, and it's woman's right. I wear a hijab because it's my personal choice, and governments don't have a business in telling women what to wear and what not to wear.
But yet the Quebec government does, with seeming political impunity at the federal level.
Yeah, I believe that it should, governments have no business in telling women, and I will always be there to stand up for those young girls or women who want to wear a hijab. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, at the end of the day, as a federal party, as conservatives, we've been very clear on where we stand on the rights of minorities. We do not have to, nor do we agree with everything provinces do. The province of Quebec will have to answer to their electorate on what they do and why they do it. So I think that's a very clear position, and that's when we stand by.
I wanted to ask you about the discussion today on Bill 21 in Quebec, and the woman who is the teacher who was removed from teaching because she wears hijab. You're the Minister of Inclusion, Diversity. What is that decision that they made their message? What does that send to children? What is that?
I have to review the story. I kind of scanned it, but obviously people have to be, religious rights are important to me and to our government, and people have to be able to practice their religion. It's a constitutional guarantee that we have in our charter. I know that groups in Quebec are exercising their rights to pursue redress in the courts, and we'll wait and see what happens with that, and we're monitoring that situation. That's our stance.
Do you still see room for the federal government to intervene in any way?
Well, I would say that's premature, because we have to see how the court processes will proceed. As a lawyer, I'm very familiar with the importance of having judicial redress when religious or other minorities feel that certain laws impact them adversely, and so that's what the people in Quebec who are impacted by this are doing, and so we'll have to see how that plays out before we make a decision.
Have a role, though, to stand up to?
I certainly believe in religious rights being respected, and it's an equality guarantee within our charter, Section 15, which protects, among other things, religious minorities in this country. Thank you.
I did. Not the first time.
Not the first time, I know, but I'm just wondering, though, do you feel that it's time for your government and your party to be a bit more aggressive overall in their response to this?
I honestly don't even know what the government could do. Sincerely, I don't know what the government could do. We've had many conversations about this, and legally, I don't know where the government would stand on this. But clearly, I mean, the population of Quebec should be doing something about this, because this is atrocious. And now we are seeing a very concrete example of the discriminatory nature of this law. It's not even a bill anymore, it's a law. And how it applied to a teacher who was doing her job. And we keep complaining about lack of manpower, or human power, and we're seeing now these extremes of discrimination, really, against someone who was doing her job. No, she wasn't fired because of lack of competence or not doing her job properly. She was fired because she wore a hijab. How is that logical? Yeah. And so I think us as citizens of Quebec, that's where we have to show our anger or unacceptance of this law, because I don't know literally where the federal government could act.
But would you like to see more of your caucus colleagues then say as you do, call it out?
I have quite a few. Most obviously my Muslim colleagues, clearly. For them it's a very, very personal thing, but not only. I mean, some of my Quebec colleagues have been quite vocal about it, and I think, we just will become more vocal about it. The more we see the real impacts on real life citizens of this law.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good week.